the topic of the day today is just get it done. Okay. So I've got about 30 plus minutes to get in presses and chin ups. The mistake I think most people will make is they're going to book themselves way too much time to get a simple exercise done because they feel like they need to do a bunch of corrective exercises. They need to foam roll their lats. They need to do preparatory stuff that in the end is kind of fluff and not really going to get here's the through line. There's an opportunity cost to that. You're spending all this time rolling around on the ground with your foam roller, and you could just be warming up the movement and getting stuff done and doing more important things in your life than foam rolling. We won't get into the research on foam rolling and its efficacy because for some people it just feels good and that's fine. But my argument is always going to be what is the most effective thing that you can do and what's the most time efficient way you can get that done, because as an athlete over 40, you don't have time to roll around on the ground. You have time to press heavy things and lift your body weight chin over the bar. Let's get it going. So I'm pretty blessed with shoulder mobility. So I don't really need to have too involved of a shoulder mobility warm up, but we're going to be in this front rack. I'm going to have to do something about this mic, rut-row. And all I'm going to do is just start pressing. And this feels pretty good. I'm accomplishing the task. Bar to shoulders, shoulders overhead. I don't need to then foam roll, do shoulder mobs, do my cars, do all this ridiculous stuff to get ready for this task. If I really want to spice things up, I'll go behind the neck. Oh, that's going to warm up your shoulders. If you want your front rack to feel cozy, what does your back rack feel like? What does pressing out of your back rack feel like? Oh, spicy. And even with that, I don't know, 10 reps or so, I feel blood in my shoulders. I feel warm. I feel pretty great. Chin ups, similar thing. I'm not going to go too crazy with this. I might hang on the bottom. And look at this. We got a little synergistic effect here. I'm warming up my shoulders. I'm stretching out everything. You can get cute and like rotate here, but name of the game is let's do chin ups. Right? And so here we go. Tip about chin ups, go slow. If you jerk at any part of the movement, you are likely going to get some kind of elbow tendinopathy, most likely golfer's elbow. Not speaking from personal experience or anything. A lot before this training phase, I did about a month and a half of very slow tempo controlled chin ups. If you can't do a chin up, a single arm pull down on a cable column is great. But here we go. First warm up set of chin ups. Just simple. Just slow. Feel it already. Elbows are barking a little bit. But we're getting warm. Already feels better. Again, thinking about corrective exercises and foam rolling and stretching, doing cars, doing all kinds of weird FRC stuff just to get ready to exercise, to prepare to exercise. Man, I used to be really into that stuff, but if you want to get training done and you have a busy life, you don't have time to do everything, right? It's enough that it's early in the morning and I'm lifting before work. So I don't need things that just add complexity to my routine when I know what I want to get done. I want to press heavy and I want to be able to pull my weight over a bar, possibly more. So there you go. That was maybe 2 minutes of one warm-up set. We're going to get into a second warm-up set doing the exact same thing. And then we're going to start adding weight and build up to our top weight. And that's how I'm going to prepare for pressing and chin-ups. Simple. I think I'm ready. We're doing this live. We're doing it real. I almost bailed on this workout, but I thought about the message. The message was you don't need to do correctives because it's going to save you time. And we have a mission, and we don't fall short of that. We don't skip sets and reps, even if we're going to be a little bit late to work, because that's our values, man. Our values are getting it done. And one is always better than zero. So if you put one workout up on the board, it's better than zero. If you're letting corrective exercises, foam rolling, expansion and compression, and insert acronym rehab context thing here that's annoying, PRI comes to mind, that's going to just kind of keep you from lifting heavy weights, get it out of your life. Okay, we've got 15 minutes to get through a heavy single, 3 sets of 3, and then hopefully a hypertrophy set at the end with chin-ups and pull-ups. Let's see if we can get it done. All right, we're rushed. Let's go. First set of 3. We're just going to do three reps of chin-ups after every set of 3 at 135. So let's get it done. We're still a little out of breath, but we're going to get it done. Hula. So when you're out of breath and you're about to do another strength set, it's not classically perfect strength training, but again, for the sake of getting it done and the opportunity cost of skipping a day's workout, I'd rather just get in some kind of work. Love you, bye. I'd rather get in some kind of work than say, oh, I didn't rest optimally for 2 to 3 minutes between sets, therefore it was a bad set. We're doing 3 sets of 3, and we're getting it done. That's the main point. And I wouldn't be able to do this if I had to foam roll for 15 minutes, okay? Just, yeah. Still a little not rested, but okay, let's just flesh this out a little bit. I know you feel like you're not moving perfectly. I know you feel like you're not perfectly warmed up, and that press or that squat or that deadlift or what have you is not perfectly in the slot. But in the end, there are a lot of people that move in a lot of weird ways. And if you're 0.2 degrees off of full shoulder flexion, no one's going to bat an eye, and your body's not going to bat an eye. It just wants the stress. It wants them to make some kind of adaptation. And even if that one session isn't perfect because you didn't do your correctives, over the span of 6 months, you kind of keep at it with the press and taking care of your mobility stuff outside of the training session, it's going to add up. And 6 months from now, you're going to look great. But let's not avoid exercises because Squat U or Insert Guru here says you need to move perfectly and have your knees perfectly tracking over your second toe. That's all bananas. Just do the movements, man. Get some stress on your body. You're going to be fine. be a miracle if I don't smash my toes at some point being barefoot in my basement. So I think this attitude of correctives and foam rolling and doing the warm up before the actual workout and making it super complex is my biggest biggest pet peeve. It's gatekeeping. Okay, I just watched this 30-minute Huberman video on how to sprint, and it's like, we don't sprint. You're going to be on the track, and today we're just going to skip, okay? Because you can't sprint, and sprinting is just for an elite population of sprinters that train sprinting and can only sprint. Bro, just get out on the track and use the same framework. I'll show you my ugly ass sprinting, but we get it done. You just jog, and then you jog a little harder, and then you do kind of like sprint like movement where you're trying to get a little bit more extension out of your limbs, and then you start adding intensity on top of that and speed. And lo and behold, it may not be perfect. Charlie Francis is not going to be knocking on my door and saying like, dude, 40-year-old Sean, let's go to the Olympics. But I'm getting the stress on my body. I'm making the adaptations. I'm doing some kind of speed training. Even if you, internet keyboard warriors, say like, that's ugly, that's not perfect sprinting form, your starts look like garbage. All kind of thoughts I have of my own, but I'm getting it done. And that's what this whole rant is all about. You just got to get the work in. There's nothing special that you need to do to get in and do the work. Pressing and chin-ups. How do you warm it up? Pressing and chin-ups. Sprinting. How do you warm it up? You sprint at 50%. And then the insert exercise here. Just do that. Do that. Don't worry what it looks like in any one session. Think about who you're going to be 6 months from now. It's probably going to look pretty darn good. Okay. We've got 95 pounds. We're going to do this once for an AMRAP, and then we're going to do body weight chin-ups for another AMRAP and call it. So we got in our 15-minute workout, a single, 3 triples, and one AMRAP. Really should have been a few hypertrophy sets, but no one cares. Okay, good job. We got one on the board. And this was a workout I was going to not do. And this is a workout I was afforded because I don't do convoluted, crazy warm-ups. Here we go. We'll take that 8. Limited a lot by my elbows and my grip. Ooh, making excuses.